Hello guys, this is Pedram Raufi and you are watching the markets review. During this program we are going to go through the stock market situation and the news background, and of course we are going to check all the forex pairs, gold prices, oil prices, and of course the most important and more famous cryptocurrency pairs as well. And as always, we are going to go through the economic calendar of today, and we are going to find some probability of trading for day traders during the day as well. And we are going to check the 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, and as well daily charts or 4-hour charts for midterm traders. As you know, the situation on the markets previously was kind of calm. S&P 500, Dow Jones were continuing to rose, but something happened during previous week, or if I be more correct, it was yesterday or a day before yesterday when we heard about the mutation of COVID virus, which happened in Africa. And now about 17 countries, due to the last information, are infected. It means that in 17 countries we have the this new mutation of a virus which is spreading, and because of it's really spreading fastly, and some of the scientists are telling that this fast spreading could really make many countries to start their lockdowns again. So there is a fear which started at the first days of this week, which made stock market, oil prices to go downward again. How long this tendency will continue, we are going to look at the charts and actually technically check the charts, so you would find the real levels which are more powerful, and just make some analysis and predictions about the future movement of the stock market indexes, forex pairs, oil and gold as well. But about this mutation and about the vaccine fears, that is the most important thing nowadays. Maybe during next 2 weeks, situation would be unstable, because Moderna, Pfizer, and the other companies which are producing the vaccine are telling that they would update their vaccines to the new variant of COVID. But because of this new mutation, and because of the time that they need to just update this their vaccines, we have to actually wait. The markets have to wait about 2 weeks or maybe 1.5, so the situation would be more understandable. So for now, for today, the fear is spreading, the new variant is spreading, and by the next 2 weeks, maybe because of the releases of companies like Pfizer, like Moderna, about the finding and updating of a new vaccine for this variant, maybe situation would be better. But for now, for today, maybe we are going to actually observe the continuation of this fear and this negative momentum on the markets. So let's check today's economic calendar to start our market review, and continued by United States dollar index, and of course by the checking of the prices of the United States stock market index is most important one. For today, by GMT, by Greenwich time, within 10 minutes, we have the Germany unemployment change, and we are actually observing that the deficit is getting lower, which is actually a negative moment. And for euro, and at 10 o'clock by Greenwich time from euro, we have CPI releases, which is actually positive. What we are going to have next at 13:30, the GDP of Canada, but you have to actually make more attention that Canadian dollar price is really related mostly to the oil prices movement, and oil nowadays is really under the pressure of new variant spreading. So we are going to check all of these charts later. USS dollar at 3 o'clock. Maybe we got some volatility, consumer confidence, which is a really important actually. Really important release, which is showing us that predictions are really negative. And today's Federal Reserve System Chair, Powell, testifies, which means that the volatility of dollar, due to his hawkish or dovish statements, could really get changed. And as you know, the fear of the risk of the continuation of the spread of new variant would make the country to think about lockdowns, to think about more stimulus, or maybe in the near future just to make markets maybe, or just to say that maybe hiking of the interest rates won't happen as soon as they are looking to do it. So we have to be really careful about today's Federal Reserve System Chairman Jerome Powell testifying as well. And actually that's all for today's calendar. We are going to look through the dollar prices, which is dumping previously, and today's candle, as you see, started under the previous day's candle, and we are getting near to a support of 95.50. 95.50, that's a level which we could get retest in the near future. What is going on 4-hour chart? Let's see. There is actually a potential of next downward movement, and if you remember our previous videos about dollar, as we said, on the 4-hour charts and on the daily chart, we had some divergence which happened here between the maximums and between the line of the RSI oscillator, which had mean actually the reversal, which actually means the reversal of the price. And as we see, this reversal already happened. From previous week, from Wednesday, or I think from Tuesday of previous week, we actually observed this reversal, and we said that maybe the prices are actually going to reverse. So here we have the prediction of the next dollar movement, a downward dollars movement, but here we have a support which need to get retest. So in the near future, for today's day, maybe we could be more sure about the continuation of downward movement, but this means that for today, for day traders, maybe we have some opportunity to just continue the short. And you have to actually be careful that 95.50, 95.60 are the levels which could get retested. And after the retest of these levels, maybe we are going to reverse upward again. So if the risk on the markets get higher, dollar could return to be an risk asset. As you know, the opposite correlation of the United States stock market indexes with dollar remains on the markets, and this factor would really show itself, especially under the effect of some big risk like the fear of new variants spreading, or the vaccination fear, or the update which vaccines would need in the future. So all of these fears could really help dollar prices to maybe reverse and the S&P 500 Dow Jones indexes to continue downward movement. But what is the situation on the stock market, main stocks, main indexes? Let's see. As we see on the S&P 500 and Dow Jones, now we are actually retesting the local minimum, and prices is showing us that maybe due to the real high volatility which we had, maybe we are going to consolidate a little bit, and next movement could actually be a little upward. It could be a correctional upward movement. But if in the near future we got some upward impulsive movements, or some formation of a very impulsive, really abnormal candle, I mean the bearish, bullish candles in the near future, which are impulsive, if we have something like that, this could mean that prices could really continue the downward movement. So any impulsive upward bullish candle in the near future, which would be bigger than the other candles, and which could actually make the retest of 4,600 to get fulfilled in the near future for S&P 500, could really mean that after the impulsive retest of this level, maybe the continuation of downward movement would be more logical. So about Dow Jones situation could be as the same. Downward impulse, previous downward impulse was really, really powerful, but we have to actually be careful. We don't need to get stuck under some psychological levels. $35,000, we are actually located under this psychological level for Dow Jones, and before we get above this level, we cannot say that the market is in a good mood. So every long position during next 2 weeks for Dow Jones and for S&P 500 could really be so risky, and the realization of any long position, scalping position, day trading position, I mean long position, could really be really related to downward dollars impulses, which could happen. But dollar, as we see for now, is really getting near to a local support, after the retest of which we could get a consolidational movement. We could really get a reversal. So about the next reversal and about the continuation of the upward movement of stock market indexes or Dow Jones, or the S&P 500 or Dow Jones indexes, we cannot be really sure even after the formation of this really impulsive retest of local support. So we have to be really careful. We are not so sure about the continuation of upward movement for stock market indexes in the near future could be really moderate. It means that maybe you won't get your targets. Maybe you won't check your profit during the trading, because the volatility could be really, really low. Next, we are going to continue our today's review by the checking the price movement of euro, pound, Australian dollar, and New Zealand dollar to United States dollar. As we see, euro, pound as well, Australian dollar, not really, and New Zealand dollar, not really. But euro and pound are kind of getting near, and they are so near to the local resistance. So a really impulsive movement could always continue by the next reversal. I mean, a really impulsive movement like here could really end by a reversal or a consolidation. For pound prices nowadays, we could be a little sure about the continuation of upward movement, but here we have to really wait. For pound to dollar, we have to wait for the retest of 1.3340, 1.3350, and after the strengthening above this level, maybe we could observe the continuation of upward movement. But till this strengthening happens, we have to wait. I mean, both have to wait, because here, after the retest of resistance, we could really get reversed, or we could really get stuck inside the consolidational corridor or inside the consolidational movement. So for euro situation, it's kind of looks like as the same. And as you know, the local resistance, which is here, have been retested, and we really need to get strengthened above 1.1340 or maybe 1.1350. So we have to be sure that 1.1340 and 1.1350 is broken, we are above them, so we could continue the buying positions. But before that, before we get strength above these levels, we have to remain the probability of a reversal and a continuation of downward movement, maybe here as a correctional, movement till 1.13 even. So due to all of these charts, we are actually observing a situation which could really get us into a reversal of all of these pairs. For Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, as you see here, we have the kind of signals of reversal, but there is no mirror level, as we could say, but the level that is now testing for Australian dollar is 0.7120, which is now testing. And for New Zealand dollar, this level is a little bit under. It means it's about 0.68. And both of these levels for New Zealand dollar and for Australian dollar could mean that after the retest of these levels, the strengthening above them, or if we get stuck under them, it could mean that the continuation of upward movement or downward movement. So if we get strength at above 1.7120 for Australian dollar, it could mean that we could continue the upward movement. If we get a really low volatility after the strengthening above this level, it could mean that buyers won't get their targets in the near future. So we have to be careful for the continuation of buys, for the continuation of long positions. We need to get strengthened above 0.7120 for Australian dollar to United States dollar. And for New Zealand dollar, to continue the upward movement, we really need to get strengthened above 0.68, maybe 68, 67.90. So we have to get strengthened above this level. And here, for now, we have some probability of repeatedly retesting of this level. So we have to wait now and just see how the prices are going to retest this support and how are they going to get strengthened above them. So after that, we could be more sure about the continuation of the upward movement. But for now, it's a little bit early. Let's go through the commodity, gold prices and silver prices, as we always do. And as we actually observed previously, prices have been stuck under a really important level of 1,800. This is a really important level under which we always continue the short positions, and above this level we always continue the long positions. But previously we have really get dumped under this level, and as we see, even despite all of these fears about the new variant spreading, new COVID variant spreading around the world, we are not observing a real good, sure and correct upward reversal of the price of the gold. And the next movement of gold could really be under the pressure. So Pfizer actually said that is going to make and update his vaccine. It's not really hard, and he's going to do it. Moderna as well. And all of these companies are telling us that actually you don't have to really fear this new variant. And actually scientists are telling us that more transmissive is the virus, more simple is its effect on the health of people. So here is different kind of factors that actually make markets to remain in some consolidation and not to move too much. So about gold prices, here maybe we could observe the continuation of upward movements during this week and the retest of 1,800, 1,810. Maybe we could actually observe this movement, observe this upward movement. And if we actually look through the daily chart, we could actually see a really good accumulation of the energy here. But the only thing that maybe could make me fear about the next upward movement is this shadow of this candle, which means that the pressure from sellers is more than pressure from buyers. And here we are actually located under 1,800. So 1,800, this level in the future during the week, it could really get retested. We could really continue the buys. And speculatively, this level could get retested. And the level of 1,820, 1,810, they could retest, they could get retested as well. But mainly, the price of gold could be under the pressure. So for scalpers and for people who are more, maybe the people who can actually wait and then just in one moment take the profit and just wait for this momentum, maybe you should actually wait for this momentum. And this momentum could really happen inside this channel. So it could be first a downward impulse and next an upward impulse and the retest of 800, 1,800. But for midterm traders, we have to actually be sure always that if you are above this level, it's better to buy, and if you are under this level, it's better to sell. What we can say about the silver prices, which are showing us that the price is kind of getting reversed from a really interesting and powerful support level of 23. We are testing 23, and previously we actually break through the local minimums. So here we have some levels like 23.20 and 23.40. So here is a levels that maybe in the future could get retest. 23.20, 23.40. We have to actually wait for the retest of this level in the future. So maybe speculatively we could really retest this local range, local resistance range in the future due to some fears of the stock market downward continuation move, downward move continuation or etc. And if you actually remember, during the previous week we already said that there is a prediction of an analyst that the price of the stock market indexes could really continue to fall about 10%. And what is we are now seeing, maybe it is the correction that we were waiting for. So here for gold prices and for silver prices, kind of we can be sure that the upward movement could continue in the future, but it could be really impulsive, it could be really speculative, so we have to be really careful. United States dollar to Swiss franc and United States dollar to Japanese yen is getting dumped, but here we have some supports which are now retesting. Here we are actually looking through the shrinking of the volatility. So here we have the shrinking of volatility after the breakthrough of local minimum. And this could be the main signal of a reversal in the future, but after next impulsive downward movement. So 0.9180 and its retest could really make prices to reverse and just maybe continue a moderate upward movement. For the US dollar to Japanese yen situation is kind of the same. We had a really impulsive downward movement which retested the local support. And here we have a potential of next downward impulse to 112.80 or maybe 112.40. And we have to actually be careful that if we get under these levels and if the candlesticks formations are going to stuck under this level and just form under this level, continue to just get formed under this level, this could be a bearish signal. But till this time, there is a probability of an impulsive retest of this level and the next reversal. So this scenario looks more realistic, the next reversal upward. Oil prices, as we see, are under really, really heavy pressure. And they remain under this pressure, but during yesterday we had some correctional movement around $70, which is a psychological level, and for now we are under the psychological level. We are actually retesting 68 or maybe $66. So we are about this range. During the day we could actually remain in this range, or maybe we could retest the 66, 65 and make some consolidational movement there. So for today's day, we have to actually be careful that the range of 68, 66 it could be the range after the retest of which we could get reversed or get dumped further. For oil prices, for now, I think the potential of downward movement in the midterm is kind of getting finished, but it's still the probability of the retest of 66 or 65. So we have to be careful that we could actually have some potential of downward movements remain at the markets as well. US dollar to Canadian dollar, as we see, is continuing to strengthen because of United States dollar is more powerful now than oil prices, and the main reason is that oil price is getting dumped and the inflation is getting a little lower. So there was some different things that helped dollar to rise, and there was some different things previously that actually made oil prices to even rise really moderately. So we could actually say that oil prices are really under the pressure, under really realistic pressure, and the dollar prices are, the buyers of dollar prices maybe could feel themselves in the near future better than the buyers of the oil. So due to these factors and due to the situation which we have on the US dollar to Canadian dollar chart of 4-hour chart and daily chart, we are actually observing a probability of next reversal, but we have to wait for it. We have to wait for it. Nearest upward impulse could really cause the next reversal. And now we are retesting a really important level of 1.28. Maybe we could get pumped really impulsively to 1.2840, but after the impulsive retest of this range, we actually could get reversed and maybe continue the downward movement. But we have to be careful that dollar prices in the future, maybe in the near future, could maybe get some upward pumping, get some upward impulses. And the downward movement of this pair is really would get fulfilled, would get realized only by the help of the oil prices pumping. So if you have any probability of oil prices pumping, this pair price, this pair's prices could really get dumped. But for now, the scenario of next downward movement of this pair for near future is not really high. So maybe we could actually observe the next upward impulse in this on the chart of this pair. And let's see what is going on with our most beloved cryptocurrency pairs of Bitcoin and Ethereum. As we are observing, and as we actually said from previous videos, previous programs, that Bitcoin prices are under the pressure, and every upward movement in the near future could be really speculative. We are stuck under the really important level of 57, and until we are under this level, the probability of the continuation of downward movement is higher. So next target is 55, maybe 53, or maybe 50. Because of that, Bitcoin background doesn't really look good, and many countries started to again make the cryptocurrency and regulate the cryptocurrency, which could have a really bad impact in a short term, in a mid-term. So due to all of these factors, we don't have a really good news background for cryptocurrency movement in the near future, but there is something that could help the prices to maybe get pumped a little bit. And this could be related to the fear of new variants of COVID spreading. And as you know, all of these fears are really under control. So the probability of this fear continuing is really lower than the probability of its escalating. So the escalating of the situation with COVID and with lockdowns, even despite the new mutation, is really lower. Logical is really lower, because we have the statements of Pfizer, we have the statements of Moderna that are telling us that, guys, don't worry, we are going to update our vaccines, and the countries don't have to be worried as well. So for Bitcoin prices, maybe speculatively, we could get some upward impulses, but we have to really be careful that above 57 we could buy, but under 57 we have to be sure that maybe prices are going to get dumped a little bit. 57, 50, 55 is a range after the retest of which we could be more sure about the next movement. So if we break through 55, we could really get to 53 or maybe even 50. Here we have a formation which looks like a widening formation or expanding formation, which is a signal of reversal. But during this formation, we cannot actually trade. So here we have a range which is more important, 57,000, 55,000. After the strengthening of price above these levels, we could be more sure about the continuation of a moderate upward movement or a consolidational upward movement. But now we are just testing it, and here we could really get really high volatility, which won't let you trade as normal as you like to or as you do. And Ethereum prices here moderately continuing their upward movement. Ethereum has a better platform, has a really better news background, and due to all of these factors, Ethereum looks better. And 4,400, 4,200 is a range in which we could get in the near future. There's a probability that we really could get into this range, and maybe next trades could be really get fulfilled inside this range. But for a midterm, we have to actually be careful, because here we have a really high volatility first, and second, there is a range of 40, as I said, 4,400, 4,200, which is important, and after the retest of which, maybe we could be more sure about the continuation of upward or downward movement. So if we get stuck under 4,200, this won't be a really good signal, and if we get strengthened above 4,400, this would be a really good signal of continuation of an upward movement. And guys, don't forget that due to the Black Friday, due to the um, actually New Year's, we have some discounts on our very interesting instruments for tradings, and I'm talking about actually our packages, by the downloading of which you could get more instruments, more information, and the better way for trading, and you can actually restart your trading system if it doesn't work or if you want it to be more profitable. So don't forget to just check our main official site and check our discounts on these packages, which gives you different type of instruments for trading, different type of trading instruments, and actually the instruments for learning the information, and different type of strategies which we actually put in the different packages. They could actually help you to make your trading more profitable and make them to be less bad, as you know. So don't forget to check our main site, official site, and don't forget to use our discounts on our packages. Thank you for watching this video, guys, and don't forget to subscribe on our channel to know what kind of programs we could have later. Don't forget to ring the bell so you would be informed if we have any online programs as well. Thank you very much. Until next time, have good tradings. Bye bye.